The other day, I asked you guys this very important question, and today I'm going to be coming up with a justified and rational answer. I'm also going to be providing my price prediction for each project and how many X's I think each one can do from the current point. I will also be coming up with the answer to this question, which will 100X in 2024, and I think the answer might surprise you. Let's stop messing around, let's get straight into it. My name is Zach. Just remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Always do your own research in the markets. If you like to join that Patreon, link is in the description. And if you like to join the Crypto with Zach Discord server, link is also in the description. So today we're going to start off with Injective, currently sitting at a $3 billion market cap. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into each project, as I've covered all of these on the channel before, but I want to compare them all because they're all very similar and they're all aiming to do pretty much the same thing, but they're all taking their own edge on the market. So Injective, it's a very, very good project. End up getting a very nice buy on this. But we can see from that market cap, it's not looking like we're going to 100x. But how high can we go? Well, Injective is a very good project. And what it's aiming to do is empower DeFi with their Layer 1 blockchain. So Injective is providing developers with a huge amount of utility and tools in order to launch their D app. And we can see in their ecosystem, we already have heaps of projects launching on Injective's chain. Now, we can have a look at their actual ecosystem, and we can see they've had a very, very successful time launching and growing this project. That ecosystem is growing every single day, and we can see the analytics, a block time of 0.8 seconds, and we've reached almost 450 million on-chain transactions. So Injective is a very cheap blockchain. It's here for developers to build their project, providing developers with tools. But how is this actually useful, and why is this a good project? Well, what it's basically doing is it's scaling the capabilities of blockchain technology and providing a quote-unquote breeding ground for new projects and new opportunities in the market. So it's really good, and the theme of today's video is DeFi scalers. So why is Injective this good? Well, we have been nothing but up since the start of the year, and a lot of projects during this period right here were actually going down, which shows that the community and the holders behind the project are nothing but loyal. This dump right here is probably due to our early buyers taking some profits after a solid 40x in a very short period of time. But when retail starts coming in, when those floodgates open, I would expect this trend to continue. This downfall here is just a bump in the road, and don't forget we are expecting a dump around this time, potentially. That's a question for another video, but we're potentially expecting a dump around this time. So when we're thinking about a price prediction and how many X's we can do from the current point, there are a few things we need to consider. The first one is our market cap. So we're sitting just under 3 billion, so we're obviously a lot higher in market cap than the other two projects we're going to be covering today. Another thing is, how easy is this coin to buy? All right, a very important thing to know is that retail investors, when they come in, 90% of them are going to be new to crypto and are not going to know how to send cryptocurrency or how to use a decentralized exchange/wallet. So it's very important to know, do we have a lot of centralized exchange listings? Well, one, we've got a Binance listing, we've got a Coinbase listing, we've got a KuCoin listing, Kraken, Bybit, blah, blah. And that is very, very good. We need to see that the project has solid coverage and the coin is able to be bought easily. Now, a Binance listing is huge for any project as well as a Coinbase listing. So it's very, very easy to buy. And if this narrative, which is very hot at the minute, becomes appealing to our retail investors, the floodgates into Injective's market cap is going to open and it is going to pump. But how high? Well, right now we're sitting at a $3 billion market cap, as we said before. There's not a lot of competitors in this space, and Injective has that early mover advantage. And when I say early mover's advantage from a project perspective, it means it is one of the first in this sector to launch. And this narrative, the DeFi scaling narrative, is going to be huge this cycle. And if retail gets behind it, it is going to absolutely pump because there is going to be trillions of dollars flowing in this bull run. So how high can we go? I think a 10x is definitely achievable. $30 billion in market cap, that is a very conservative price for this project because one, it's scaling DeFi, two, it's empowering the development and allowing developers to build whatever they wish, providing tools and utility for them to do so. But three, they're building a very strong ecosystem that is growing on the day and is continuously showing how strong Injective actually is and how solid the project and the utility behind the project actually is as well. We can also see that we have a huge amount of volume, which I would expect to increase at a very rapid rate in the bull run. So I'm saying, all right, $50 billion will probably be a maximum roof for this project. I'm thinking around $30 billion is achievable. I don't think we're going to be getting too much more than a 10x from the current point on Injective. So that is not going to be the project that 100x's because this market cap is simply too high. If we want to do a 100x, Injective will be sitting at around a $300 billion market cap, which is a very, very high market cap. We also need to take into consideration the narratives that retail are going to follow. For example, Shiba Inu to $1. If there are any Shiba Inu fanatics and maxis in this chat, I'm sorry, your coin isn't going to $1. But these narratives drive projects because it builds a community sense behind the project and basically takes away the idea in retail investors' heads that, hey, we're not going to pull out, we're in this for the long term, and they're going to end up being exit liquidity for an early buyer, aka us. So we need to identify these narratives early. A very good example is Tectum, the payment system of the future for cryptocurrency. I can see that taking off, but Injective, the DeFi scaler, the breeding ground, it doesn't really have that, incredibly flash retail investor narrative. Luckily, one of the next two projects in today's video has a perfect example of one of these, and it's going to absolutely drive it in the bull run. But Injective, I think a 10x is feasible from the current point. I don't see it's going too high, over $30 to $50 billion in market cap. I could be completely wrong. All right, just remember, this is my price prediction. I'm not a magic genie from the future. I'm not saying it is going to do this, but it's a very solid play, especially if you're playing with a lot of capital and are looking for a 5x to 10x return, because one, you're going to be able to pull out with ease. This market cap is going to allow you to pull out without really making a massive deviation in price. Compared to pulling out of something that is a $30 million market cap and you are a whale of that project, you're probably going to dump the price quite a bit. So it's good to see. I can see this going exceptionally high into the bull run. Let's get into Shido, our second coin of the video. Firstly, I just want to say thank you to this gentleman right here for teaching me how to say Shido properly. I was pronouncing it Shido yesterday, so my apologies for that. You know my reputation, if you've been following this channel for a while, I'm renowned for getting a lot of project names wrong. So thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. So Shido, very, very, very good project. All right, a DeFi scaler that is new, that is hot, that is pumping. And we can see that sellers aren't really willing to give up, and eventually buyers are going to be forced to buy higher. So I think this price, all in all, is going to go exceptionally high in the bull run. Well, how high? Let's get into that right now. I'm not going to cover what Shido is. I'll do a brief explanation of what it is, but I'm not going to cover it. If you wish to see my full in-depth of what the project actually is and what they do, make sure you go check out the channel. I uploaded a video on this yesterday. But basically, once again, the theme of today's video is DeFi scalers, and this is a DeFi scaler, believe it or not. So we jump onto their website. Basically, what they've done is they've created the Shido chain and are allowing developers just like Injective to build complex D apps and simple D apps based on decentralized finance applications on their blockchain. And they're providing a few things. So just like Injective, they're providing developers with an easy way to build and grow their projects, and also to, do all their coding, all their scripts, that sort of thing with ease. As we can see right here, the development power of the EVM and WASM, but it also combines the interoperability of the Cosmos. So basically, it's one, providing developers with the ability to grow their project and build their project with a huge amount of tools and utility provided from Shido. Two, they have access to the power of the Ethereum virtual machine, so basically can interact with it at ease and basically manipulate it however they wish to do so, but also the interoperability of the Cosmos. An interoperable project and the interoperable narrative is going to be big this cycle, and any project looking to make multiple chains interact from a single point are going to do exceptionally well. And that is one of the visions behind Shido, to allow for investors to use their protocol with ease. We can see some of the projects that have built on top of it and that have integrated their project with the Shido chain, such as Amazon Web Services, Alchemy Pay, Apollo X, Astroport, so on and so forth. So we can see this project hasn't been around for a very long period of time. In fact, the price was only really allowed to be bought at the start of October. What they're doing, right, is they provided an early opportunity for this narrative. Now, it's really hard to get into a project like Injective at a very low market cap. Well, here it is. All right, here it is right here. People think this is very, very expensive because, it's $80 million in market cap and it's already done an 8 to 10x. Well, are you going to be thinking this is expensive, this $68 million market cap, when it's literally going to be at around a $2 to $3 billion market cap? Well, I probably think you're going to think now, oh, I wish I bought. Well, yeah, you should have bought. Well, a lot of people right now are, sorry if I sound a little angry, but a lot of people right now are not DCAing and are not buying these lows because they don't see what's coming. They know the bull run is coming, but they don't see what's going to happen in the next 6 months because they expect Bitcoin to come down to $20,000 once again. So everything else is going to dump 90% and I can get my bags nice and cheap. Well, those days are over, guys. If you're new to crypto, it's time to buy. It's time to get in. It's time to solidify your bags. This is the opportunity right here. And Shido is nice and cheap. As we can see right now, a $70 million market cap. And look what Injective has done. Injective had that first mover advantage and is setting the standards for our DeFi scalers. Shido is doing the exact same thing. Well, sorry, not the exact same thing, but it's following Injective's footsteps. And this price right here, I can guarantee you is going to be a very, very, very distant memory. How many X's can Shido do? Well, we do have competition such as Injective, but the good thing about this, all right, and it's, I follow the fundamentals of Bitcoin. And when I say that, I mean when Bitcoin pumps, roughly 2 weeks later, a lot of alts pump, I can see this happening with Injective. So say, for example, Injective pumps. We're probably going to see in tandem, if not with a short delay, Shido and our last project of the video doing the exact same thing. So that's very important to consider. And the good thing about it is it's in a very solid and hot narrative. Don't forget DeFi, and the DeFi narrative has gone nowhere, and it's going to be exceptionally large this cycle. In fact, a lot of retail investors are going to, gravitate towards our DeFi projects, as is this underlying theory that DeFi is going to change the world, that sort of thing. Well, I can guarantee you in time it will, but this cycle it's probably not going to, because we're going to have a lot of advancements with blockchain technology over the next 10 years. But like I said, that retail narrative of following DeFi and low cap DeFi gems and DeFi gems that are going to scale DeFi like Shido are going to do exceptionally well. So I can see Shido doing a 50x from the current point. Now, our third project is a project that has a little special spot in my heart. No, I'm kidding. But I am very fond of the project, and I think all in all, MintLayer, that's right, ML is going to do wonders and misery this cycle. This market cap right here, just under $35 million, this is going to be a very distant memory. And the reason MintLayer is going to do exceptionally well is one, it's empowering the BRC20 ecosystem with a sidechain. So MintLayer mainnet is now live and projects can officially develop on the MintLayer sidechain, which basically means that projects can develop, grow, while also having access to an SDK or a software development kit, a framework, a foundation, and a heap of developer tools in order to build their project, with Bitcoin being the center of attention. So developers can build dApps revolving around Bitcoin, empowering the Bitcoin ecosystem. And we know that the BRC20 narrative this cycle is going to be absolutely flippin' enormous. So it's very, very bullish straight off the bat. Also, for a project that does this market cap is dirt cheap. Sure, we're up quite a bit, all right? And we did get that early buy alert in the Patreon, so make sure to check out that Patreon. That link is in the description, but it is going to absolutely boom, and we are still extremely cheap to where we're going to go. So I've made a few videos in the past, like I said, on MintLayer. So if you wish to get a full in-depth review, make sure you check out those videos on the channel. There's a few reasons why MintLayer is here and what they're actually doing. So one, they have a tokenization ecosystem. So you can tokenize equity, real estate, and other holdings in primary and secondary markets, which is nice to see they have a real-world asset aspect of this project. Also, the main reason why they're here to empower decentralized finance and also allowing for ways to trade and transfer value. So what can you do with MintLayer and what can developers build and what will the ecosystem look like? So right now they don't have any projects on their actual ecosystem, as mainnet was only launched. It was just over a week ago. It was the 29th of January. A full successful launch. And if you wish to read through this, there is a blog post on MintLayer's mainnet, but I'm not going to go through that. But basically, when their ecosystem starts building, people are going to see the power that MintLayer has. So this project is the Injective of the BRC20 ecosystem. And it's the first of its kind in the BRC20 ecosystem. This is why I'm very, very bullish, because we know where Injective started and we know where Injective is going to go. We can use that as a comparison for MintLayer, whilst also factorizing in the fact that it is, like I say, Bitcoin-centric. So Bitcoin is the center of attention, also shaping the DeFi landscape in the BRC20 ecosystem through the MintLayer sidechain. We can use this to have a rough estimate on where this project is actually going to go. So the first thing I'm going to consider is the price that Bitcoin is going to go to. So I'm expecting a market cap of somewhere between $3 to $4 trillion, which is around a 3 to just under a 5x from the current point. So that's the first consideration I'm making. The second one is going to be the price of Injective, as this project, MintLayer, is the Injective of the BRC20 ecosystem. So Injective is probably going to go to anywhere from a $20 to $40 billion market cap. Like I said, I'm expecting a $30 billion market cap. So I'm also going to use this as a factor. I don't think MintLayer in its first cycle is going to go all the way to 30 billion. If it did, it would achieve 1000x, which would be unbelievable, and I'm not writing it off, but they're going to have to build that ecosystem in order to do this. So the objective of the BRC20 ecosystem, Bitcoin is going to be extremely massive. They have excellent utility, excellent fundamentals, an awesome foundation, and an ecosystem that is going to thrive and ultimately allow DeFi to flourish on the BRC20 ecosystem, and for projects to have an easier time developing around Bitcoin and using the perks that using Bitcoin essentially has. So what this brings me to is a very nice market cap. What I'm thinking is anywhere from a $3 billion market cap to anywhere up to a $10 billion market cap. Now you might be thinking, why so high? Well, because we're so early. All right, lower market cap projects will do very, very large amounts of X's when the bull run starts. And I think this will go to $1 billion in a very short period of time once the bull run starts. It'll probably be something like a very, very large weekly candle rise. We'll eventually probably retrace a small amount and then continue on. So I'll be expecting MintLayer to go very, very high in the bull run. So that is going to be anywhere from a 100 to 300x. That is the range I am setting. Are we going to achieve this in 2024? Well, I think 100x is achievable in 2024 for MintLayer. But what they're going to have to do in order to get this 100x in 2024 is, one, they're going to have to get that ecosystem growing. Because as we can see, Shido's ecosystem is growing. Injective ecosystem is literally flourishing. All right, and we need to see MintLayer doing the exact same thing. But mainnet has only just launched, so that's going to give the project a little bit of time to catch up now that mainnet is out there. And if these projects start developing on top of it, utilizing the utility that MintLayer has provided, the project is going to do exceptionally well. But until then, we're not going to have any proven results. So we really need to see developers starting to utilize what MintLayer is actually here for. We can see this. I think that $3 to $10 billion mark is easily achievable, but I'm thinking around $5 billion is probably going to be the sweet spot, which would be solid returns. If you bought MintLayer down here, well, please invite me to your yacht party, because that is an excellent buy. Do not sell if you're down here. Wait for more returns. But from the current point, I think that 100x is definitely achievable for MintLayer. So to summarize, the three projects we discussed today are Injective, Shido, and MintLayer. MintLayer. I think X-wise and return-wise, this bull run, MintLayer is going to be the go-to one because there's so many factors pointing to its success. All they need to do is start growing that ecosystem and proving results to future and potential investors. Shido, I'm expecting a 50 to 100x, but potentially a 50x in 2024. This project is just too good to fail, all right? It is just a revolutionary project. It's a baby Injective, all right? Injective is still more powerful than Shido and has a much more reliable ecosystem, but I think Shido is going to rise in the shadows and be that underdog project and not reach as high a market cap as Injective. All right, Injective's probably going to go to 30 billion, but it's only a 10x compared to Shido. If it goes to 7 billion, all right, it's going to still get that 100x, and I definitely think that is achievable. But in this instance, MintLayer is my favorite. So Injective, I'm thinking around a 10x from the current point maximum. I think a $50 billion roof market cap for this project, but ultimately it just depends on what type of investor you are. Are you safe? Are you, prone to a little bit of risk? Are you happy to take a little bit of risk? Are you, wanting to remain safe? Are you wanting to go full balls deep degen? It really just depends on your game strategy. So Injective is really at the current point for safer investors. Shido, a good low cap coin for a safe play, but it's also a little bit on the riskier side. And MintLayer is going to be the ROI and yield provider for a riskier play. But just because a play is lower in market cap and we quote unquote call it risky, doesn't mean it actually is as risky as they say. I'd much rather buy MintLayer than Dogecoin. Let's just sorry, Dogecoin, just Dogecoin maxis, but I'm not really a meme boy. Anyway, that is today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like and subscribing. I hope you're all doing well. If you're taking it rough, crypto isn't easy. Sometimes it plays a few games with your head. If you need tips, need any tricks, need someone to talk to, my DMs are always open on Discord. So make sure you send me through a message. Make sure you're sending the message to the right crypto with Zach, though. There are a few scammers and impersonators out there. If you have anyone like that, also let me know through the Discord. Apart from that, I hope you're all having a great time, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.